What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. And you know I got another banger for you. Y'all know the vibes. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with
me. You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Uconn will face their toughest competition, in my opinion, on the season when they take on South Carolina on Sunday. And this feels like a must-win game, man. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Notre Dame. Like, they've lost some big games this year. And they've been battle-tested, I will say. But they haven't been able to close out games when these barn burners, these big-time mega matchups, they haven't really been able to close out games. And South Carolina, Uconn, two programs that are very familiar with one another. Gino says he wouldn't necessarily call it a rivalry, but how it started and how it's looking right now, it's totally changed the dynamics.
Coach, you mentioned this weekend going to South Carolina, big matchup. Dawn Staley, a couple years ago, said she doesn't consider the game a rivalry necessarily because they hadn't won a whole lot. You know, now that they've kind of gotten more competitive, do you consider that a rivalry, and is it important to you to think about it that way?
I mean, you play these games for a reason, right? You play them because they're high-profile games. You know you're going to get tested. It should be cyclical, the first, 5-6 years that we played them, whether it was here or there or NCAA tournament, it didn't seem like a rivalry. It was just totally one-sided. And you knew that wasn't going to be like that forever. So things do go in cycles, and it should. It should. And that's what makes the game compelling, when two really high-profile teams get a chance to compete against each other. Does that make it a rivalry? I guess. I mean, I don't think if South Carolina beats us, they're going to get T-shirts with the score printed on it. I think they have bigger fish to fry than beating Uconn. But, I enjoy the game. I enjoy the competition, and it's hard as hell to win down there. We made it look easy back in the day, but it was never easy, and it's even harder now.
For Uconn, I think why I say this is a must-win game for confidence. They don't have a lot of quad one wins on their resume this season. They've lost a lot of tough games to top 10 opponents. This could be a major boost for them because they're not going to be battle-tested in the Big East, man. This is the last tough test that they have before the NCAA tournament. So I think this is a good measuring stick of what Uconn will look like in March. Paige Bueckers has been great so far this season, but in close games, in these like barn burner mega matchups that they've had, she's disappeared. We haven't seen the same assertiveness. We haven't seen the same cerebral assassin that Paige has been in the past, especially last March. Like, we have not seen that edge from her. She's disappeared from games. She's faced double teams, triple teams. Like, I will give her the benefit there. But even Coach Gino Auriemma has called her out for standing around, for disappearing for stretches in games, and not giving this team the winning edge that they're expecting her to do as a potential National Player of the Year candidate, as she was coming into this contest. My X factor, though, honestly, is to be real with y'all, is Azzi Fudd, who's coming off of her season-high 34 games against St. John's, man. Now, we know Paige Bueckers has done what she does, one of the most efficient players in the country. Sarah Strong, probably National Freshman of the Year, has been incredible, very well-rounded, and has added an extreme dynamic to this team in the post, another playmaker and three-point shooter as well. And she's improved as a defender game by game, in my opinion. So we know these two will be the focal point, but I think it's going to come down to who's going to step up and be that third and fourth fiddle to these two? Who's going to be the supporting cast that provides production? KK Arnold has been the best player off the bench. She's been sensational at point guard, both on the offensive end, finding her offense, creating plays for others, but she's also the best perimeter defender on the team and has caused havoc and just continuously made offensive players she's matched up against uncomfortable. But Azzi Fudd is my X factor for this game. Third leading scorer for the majority of the season, has definitely found her stride, coming off a big shooting performance against St. John's. She looks like she's back in her bag, like back to her old self, the confidence. She looks healthy. She's scoring the basketball at will, and she has shown up in big games before in this contest. Like they're familiar with Azzi Fudd as well, but I think for her, like recently, she's been playing really good basketball. I think for Azzi, it's going to be hitting shots early, seeing the ball go in. But she is an explosive scorer and can take pressure off of other stars for Uconn, but also open up the floor with her shooting ability as well, man. I'm glad to see her back to playing like we know at the elite level that she can play with, man. Because I think that her best games were coming when Paige was out. She had a couple 20-plus point games while Paige was out. But now that they're playing together and it looks fluid and the chemistry is there and they're feeding off of each other, Azzi Fudd could definitely help blow this game wide open and change the narrative of Uconn losing this game and not winning big games. Like I said, big test for Uconn to build some confidence and measure up where they really stand against the top teams in the country late in the season, man. Now, if this game was in December, November, it'd be different, but we're heading into mid-February right now. So the teams that are winning games and separating themselves, like the winners, are being separated from the pretenders. But my keys for Uconn, man, definitely the supporting cast. Like Azzi Fudd, lights out shooting, a guard that is a 3-level scorer, a veteran, tenacious defender, a player that's played in some big-time games and has made big shots and has proven that she can carry Uconn if she needs to. So I think her coming off that 34-point performance, her confidence is going to be at an all-time high. She's going to be hunting for her shot, being aggressive off ball, getting open, attacking the cup as well. I love what I'm seeing from her. So I think she could be the X factor to really keep Uconn in this game and potentially get an upset against South Carolina. I want to see Caitlin Chin be aggressive as well. KK Arnold, Ashlyn Shade is going to have to knock down some shots for this group. In the front court, we know South Carolina will play through Joyce Edwards, through Sanaya Fagan, through Chloe Kitts. Will Jana El-Alfi step up and be a potential game wrecker on both sides of the floor? Can she get in there and block shots and anchor the paint and compete on the glass? Can she give them some productive minutes? Can she score? Can she just be physical in that paint and cause problems for the South Carolina front line? That is what remains to be seen. Ice Brady, down year for sure, has regressed. Can she come out, though, and have an impact on this game? Just rebounding, just effort, running the floor hard and guarding the basketball down low as well, just keeping South Carolina off the glass, which some teams have had success doing. They will have to play fast, push the break, man. Paige Bueckers, KK Arnold, like these players are going to have to go out and run. Azzi Fudd, spread the floor and make your three-point shots. Try to get South Carolina in foul trouble, bang on the glass. Utilize Sarah Strong's versatility, man. Her being able to handle the ball on the perimeter, her size, her physicality, her skill set, her IQ. Like, this is going to be a big battle for that Freshman of the Year conversation as well between Sarah Strong and Joyce Edwards. But I think they have to come out firing early, find success in the pick and roll, create space for Paige Bueckers, who needs to be aggressive and assert herself. If it comes a time where she needs to take over this game, she cannot hesitate. Get to your spots, get to the mid-range, get her active in pick and roll. Like that 1-2 game that Sarah Strong and Paige Bueckers have, they need to play through that frequently. Uconn has depth. Will they get production from their freshmen, Morgan Shelley, Ali Zabel? Like, they're going to need players that typically don't do a whole lot for this team, especially recently, other than Big East play, to be honest with y'all. They're going to need these players to step up and make plays and contribute. And they're going to have to guard. They're going to have to get back, limit transition for South Carolina, and just not get tired. Gino Auriemma is not going to be able to get outcoached in this game for them to win. If he does, if Don Staley beats him in the X's and O's, forget about it. It's over for Uconn before this thing even starts. And the thing is, too, they're taking on a very, very motivated, I'll say, South Carolina squad. Coming off that loss to Texas, they blew the doors off of Florida. We've seen how South Carolina is on a different mode when they lose a game, man. They reel off lots of victories after the fact. It's like they get back focused. The intensity is up. And UConn will need to take care of the basketball, stay aggressive, and definitely just create open shots for this offense, man. Run their show, create space, move the basketball, find open shooters, and don't hesitate to get the first open shot and take it. But UConn has a chance in this game. They've got star power. A lot of people felt like when UConn was coming into the season on paper, they had the second best team. We haven't seen them peak yet. We haven't seen them play their best basketball. Maybe the matchup, the highly anticipated matchup with South Carolina brings out the best in this group. Y'all know what they say. Iron sharpens iron. So we shall see, man. But the dynamic of this rivalry has definitely changed. South Carolina has taken the podium as the standard in women's college basketball. And Gino Auriemma and them still making noise, but are they an afterthought? That remains to be seen. Y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comments, though. Hit me with the predictions and just, what you're most looking forward to in this game. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, and also join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Until next time, hey, we out.